Welcome to War Thunder with Subdued. How y'all doing today? Well, this is the 1.77 dev server, and we're going to take a look at the aviation tech trees to see if there have been any changes beyond what has been put out by Gaijin in the dev blogs. So, sit back, enjoy, and let's get on with the ride. Starting with the Americans. All right. So far, I don't see a whole lot. And I'm really not expecting to see a lot because, well, I don't know. Do 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 do. Do, 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 do. Oh, what do we have here? We have the F-84G coming to the American tree. The F-84G has 200 RP required to get, and let me see, my eyes are not that good, 790,000 shekels to pick up, along with another 230,000 shekels to put in a lineup. We have a top speed of 605 miles an hour at sea level, a top altitude of 41,000 feet. And let's take a look at the weapons loadout. Modifications for this plane. My goodness. Bombs and rockets galore. Let me see. Two 100s. Two 250s. Two 500s. Two 1000s. 24 H-bars, 32 H-bars, 24 H-bars and a couple of 100-pounders, 250s, 500s, 1000s, and Tiny Tims. So, basically the same loadout as the other F-84s, but we finally get the G model, the 21RE. Okay, very nice. And the battle rating of 7.7 is a decent battle rating. Let me see, what's the climb rate on that beast? Climb rate is 5,700 feet per minute. What was the other battle rate? Climb rate. The other climb rate was 4,350. So, yeah, it's going to have a better climb rate, which means you'll be able to get up to altitude quicker. But that looks like that's about it for the Americans, which I kind of expected. I was hoping for a B-26, but hey, you take what you can get. And the B-26 is a step in the right direction, and F-84G is a step in the right direction. Maybe we'll get the B-26 sometime in the near future. Maybe the next patch. Who knows? But it does look like that was it for the Americans. Alrighty. Next up, the Luftwaffe, the German Air Force. Let's see. Ooh, yes, there we go. We have the HE-177A5. Nice looking plane. Let's see what the modification loadout is. All right. We can carry 40 50-kilogram bombs. We can carry 250 kilogram bombs. 6 500s. And let me see. 4 1,000 kilogram. 2 1,800 kilogram. 2 1,000 kilograms, and 6 500 kilogram. That's not a bad loadout, but I do believe the plane was actually capable of carrying more. We'll find out. Weapons loadout. Oh my goodness. 2 20mm cannons in a turret. 2 13mm machine guns in a turret. Lots of bullets. Lots of bullets. Turret 13mm times 2. Turret 7.92. Lots and lots of bullets. This thing is going to be a bullet and shell spewing monstrosity. The 20mm are limited to 2 different types. Universal with AP and HEF, high explosive fragmentation, and incendiary tracers. Armored targets, AP, APHE, and IT. Interesting. APT, AIA. And API, APT. And AP and APT. So, kind of limited there, kind of limited in the bomb selection. Maybe in the future we'll get bombs like the Fritz X. But that will be something that has to happen in the future. Doesn't appear to be any additions in top tier. So, we get 1 addition in the German lineup, which isn't bad. I like that. That's good. Now, let's go to Russia, or Soviet Union. All right. Looking across and around and down, and nothing so far. Nope. Does not appear to be any additions to... Oh, yes, there's the much anticipated LA-200 coming after the LA-15. Top speed 659 miles an hour at sea level. Turn time of 27.8 seconds. We're dealing with another 200,000 RP to purchase and 790,000 shekels to buy, 230,000 shekels to put in a crew. Let's take a look at this beastie. Preview. Yep, it's an odd looking duck. It is a seriously odd looking duck. I'm not sure if I'd really want to fly this thing. But we'll see how it performs in game. And this is probably one of the reasons I'm sure Lavochkin isn't making current jets for Soviet military. It's ugly. It seriously is ugly. This is so ugly, only a mother could love it. Mother Russia. Yeah, there you go. Mother Russia loves it. So, no, we're not interested in doing that in this match. But there we have the sole Russian entry. I don't see anything in the premiums either. So, there you go. All right, let's take a look at the British. Keeping a stiff upper lip and all. I don't see anything in the premiums. Ah, yes, there it is, the MB5. And it's in a bundle, which means you got to go to the store to buy it. Other than that, doesn't appear to be anything. Ooh, wait a minute. What do we have here? What do we have here? I don't remember missing these. As a matter of fact, I know I had them. 5C Trope, 5C. Okay, they added a couple of more Spitfires. I've got the tropical versions, and now we're getting the non-tropical versions. Okay. Added a couple of new Spitfires. Well, regurgitated Spitfires. Which isn't so bad. I don't mind that. That's, it's fair to add those in. Did they do the same thing with any of the Hurricanes? And I'd have to say, nah, they didn't. Considering that there were tropical hurricanes and non-tropical hurricanes, I'm surprised they haven't done the same thing with them. But new Spitfires for the Anglophiles. On to the Japanese. Let's see what we've got here. Now, I've got a lot of Japanese planes that I still have to buy and still have to research, so don't anyone get crazy on me about it. Here's the KI-108 and the 109. 109 and the KI-83. I've been working on the KI-83 for a while. KI-109. Yep. KI-108. KI-108, 37 millimeter with 29 rounds, 400 rounds of 20 millimeter. Preview. Let's take a look at her. Well, that's a pretty slick looking plane. That would probably be a interesting fly. I just don't like 37 millimeters. There's only one 37 millimeter that's worth anything in the game, and that's the Soviet Union 37 millimeter on the Yak-9T. Everyone else's 37 millimeter is pretty much a joke. Yeah, if it connects, that's great, but the problem is making it connect. I don't know if this is a high velocity or not. Probably not. But I think I'd rather have the KI-83 that's got the two 30mm guns. Let's see, what do we have here? The 109 preview. Oh yeah, I remember this thing. One of the reasons I did not buy this thing or work on it is because it's worthless. The KI-109 is nothing more than a bomber repurposed as a supposed ground attacker anti-shipping plane. And yeah, it's basically meat on the grinder. So anyone that flies that regularly already knows that it's meat on the grinder. If you're going to get a Japanese heavy fighter, this is the one that you really want to get your hands on. Two 20mm cannons, two 30mm cannons, plenty of bullets, and definitely high speed, low drag, and a nasty customer when you catch up to somebody. Doesn't appear to be anything down in the jet territory, and I really didn't expect to see anything in the jet territory. And the reason I didn't expect to see anything was because there just wasn't, other than possibly another Sabre of some sort, they're really kind of limited. Now, Gaijin in their recent shooting range said that, hey, Japanese were using vampires, so you could possibly see a British import. Who knows? That's something to look at in the future. All right, let's move on to the Italians. See if anything new came out in the Italian tree. Oh my, what's this? Preview. What do we have here? We have the RE2000 Series 1. My. My. Oh dear, me goodness. Now, if that doesn't remind you of the P-43 almost. Oh my. Definitely. What do we have for armament? We have two 12.7mm machine guns with, what is that, 600 rounds? Let's take a look at it. Armor is unobtainium. We don't have any. Okay, let's look at the x-ray, see what we're doing. We have a pilot sitting on top of a fuel tank. Oh yeah. The engine we have is a 14-cylinder, 831 horsepower. Woohoo! Interesting. 300 rounds of ammo, oil cooling, and 300 rounds of ammo. So you've got two machine guns with 600 rounds. That's not too bad for a rank 1 premium. And that's exactly where it is. It's a rank 1 premium. Or, wait a minute, is that a premium? No, it's just a low tier rank 1 plane. The beginning of the RE line. Very good. Very nice. And we have a premium Spitfire. 5V Trop. Interesting. Well, I guess that, you know, they did fly Spitfires, so it's a good thing to add one in. Of course, the Italians also got Thunderbolts and Lightnings. Very, very frightening. I know. Sick humor. It's me. But again, a lot of the same old stuff. Looks like we got this, the C-200. They broke that out. I skipped over a lot of airplanes in the Italian line when I could because there was just no reason to get them. Already got them once. Didn't feel like wasting time on getting them again. Flew the interesting ones. Got down through the line. And I'll admit, a lot of the Italian planes are very good. They're very maneuverable. I'm going to be interested to see how this one does. Maybe I'll make a video of me flying it a little bit, just to see how well it does perform in realistic battles. I don't do arcade battles, and I'm not good enough to do sims. So, we'll see where it goes from here. But nothing added to the top end of the Italian line, which I really didn't expect. Alright, let's go to the French. Now, the French, there's the Martin 167 A3. Take a look at her. Preview. Go back to just normal view. The Martin, Maryland. And for those of you that don't know why it's called the Maryland, the British named it the Maryland. The French called it the 167. The British called it the Maryland. Now, you might wonder, why did they call it the Maryland? It's because they were built in Maryland. And the other one that came out was the Baltimore. Why? Because the plant that built them was in Baltimore. British were really innovative in that manner. Pardon me for a second. I'm back. Neighborhood kids are out there having a good time. Just had to shut the door so that they're not showing up on the audio of the video here. All right, let's take a good look at the insides of this beastie. As far as armor goes, non-existium. Okay, let's go to the X-ray view. All right, main engines. We're dealing with a couple of Pratt & Whitney R1830s, 14-cylinder radials, 942 horsepower each. Fuel tanks are in their wing roots. Doesn't look like you have a forward gun. Well, it says he's a gunner, but he doesn't have a gun. He's actually a bomb aimer. And in the back, we're missing the gunner for the ventral. We have the gunner for the dorsal. And he's got a 7.7 Vickers K-gun, which is kind of odd because this is a French plane, and French use the 7.5 Mac. And there's your 7.7 Browning, and again, that was a 7.5 Mac, not the 7.7. with 800 rounds per gun, and the same thing on the opposite side. So, either we've been told wrong, or Gaijin has a little bit of cleanup to do. They're saying the 7.7, so actually what you're looking at would be the British Maryland instead of the French 167. Does that mean we're going to get a British plane? I have no idea. And is there anything else in the French lineup? I really don't see anything. So, probably not. Well, that is pretty darn good. Oh, excuse me. Pardon me. We have the Mystere 2C pre-production. Let's take a look. Preview. Mystere 2C pre-production. Let's go to the sexy view first. Alright, looks like they pretty much moved the model over. Looks like a better dihedral on the tail than the other Mystere. Go to armor view. Okay, we've got a little bit of armor here. We have a little over a ½ inch there. The seat's got a little over a ½ inch. The headrest has got a little over a ½ inch. And the anti-bird strike glass is 40 millimeters. Not bad. Oh, and anyone that thinks that that's bullet-resistant glass is an idiot. That's bird strike. That's to prevent the pilot from getting a face full of foul. Let's take a look at what we have for armaments. Alrighty. We got DIFAs. We have DIFAs. We have 150 rounds of 30 millimeter per gun. Yeehaw! Finally, we've got some firepower for the Mystere. The main engine, the French engine, and the thrust is not bad. 2,780 or 98 kilograms of thrust. That's pretty good. Yeah. What we got here? Climb rate, unimproved, looks to be about 6,100 feet per minute, which isn't too bad. Takeoff run, that's normal. Max altitude, 42,000 feet, yeah. And unimproved, it's got 638 miles an hour. So, let's take a look at the modifications and see what happens after you modify it. Aha, we finally get small bomb, large bomb, and rocket pods. What are the rocket pods going to do to this plane? Oh my God. Gaijin, you've really got to do this over. You've got to figure out what you're doing wrong with the rocket pods, because you are introducing an excessive amount of drag. That's way too much drag on the plane. That's beyond the pale of drag. That's like throwing a parachute out behind the plane and saying, you ain't going nowhere. you've only got 2 rocket pods. Yeah. Yeah, you need to adjust your drag coefficient with the rocket pods, because if you can carry a couple of large bombs, those are 1,000 pounders, and you're losing 141 miles an hour to large bombs. Those rocket pods should be less than that. You're making things up as you go along, and that's not acceptable. That's wrong. That's absolutely wrong. But we finally have the Mystere 2C, which is good. I think they put it in the wrong lineup, but just the fact that it's in the lineup is a good thing. Pretty plain. Now, if it'll perform once it's got all of its upgrades. Oh, let's just take a look at. Uh, 3 miles an hour. Those are boosters. Compressor. 3 miles an hour. Airframe. Engine. 3, 5. Well, they're saying that the speed will probably be right around 645 miles an hour, which means it'll be roughly on par with the Cougar as far as top end goes. The F9, F8. I wonder. Well, I'm not a Frenchophile or a Francophone, whatever you want to call it. So, anyone that's from France that has resources and knows a bit more about the Mystere 2C, feel free to chime in with what you feel the top speed of this plane should be or actually was. Interesting. But I'll probably make a test flight of the Mystere 2C, which was the main production version of the Mystere 2 series. There were 100 and some odd planes, 140 some odd planes made in the 2C series. There were only a very limited number of 2As and 2Bs before they got onto the 2C. So, and then there was a 2N, I think. But that's neither here nor there because we don't have that in game yet. And I haven't really done a lot of research on it. So, it'll be interesting to see how this works out. And 230mm DEFAs, good idea. Finally, we have a plane that can slap just as hard as the British planes and the other 30mm equipped planes. Well, that's about all there is to do with all the air forces. So, tell me what you think. And this is Subdude signing off. We'll catch you in the skies. By the way, I will be putting up flight tests of the various airplanes as they happen. Y'all behave yourselves, be good to one another, and I'll catch you in the sky. Subdued signing off. Bye-bye.